Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Bandy Project. If you're new here, welcome also. My name is Brooke. I'm the one who runs the Bandy Project with my husband Ian, hence Brooke and Ian, B and I, Bandy. The name just kind of happened. But anyway, I'm the main one who runs this. Ian will sporadically be in the videos, but this is more my thing than his. I'm sure once the baby comes, he will be more involved. With that said, baby is due in about 5 weeks. I am 35 weeks along right now, and I'm feeling it big time. One of the biggest elephants in the room whenever people notice that I'm pregnant or want to talk about pregnancy is that we have decided not to find out the gender of our baby. So I decided that this is a good time as any to go ahead and make a vlog about why we decided against finding out. So with that said, I have 10 reasons why we decided that we did not want to find out the gender for baby number one. Number one is Ian wanted it. He told me literally since before we even dated that he wanted to wait to find out the gender of at least his first kid. And whenever he told me originally, I was like, whatever, dude, sure, okay. Like, I was just like, we weren't even a thing yet, so I was like, this might not even affect me one day. It affected me. I've never had any intention on waiting. Everybody finds out their baby gender early nowadays. Gender reveal parties are like the thing these days. So I never thought about waiting. After we got married and then, we got pregnant soon after, he was still pretty adamant that he wanted to wait. He did say that I could find out and just not tell him. And that's just not realistic because I suck at keeping secrets. So even if I never verbally said anything out loud, which would be hard after a while, not saying he or she, I would end up buying like a pink blanket or a blue bonnet or something. And I never would have been able to keep it a secret. So with that said, we still don't know. No, we are 35 weeks and we don't know, and neither does the rest of the world, except maybe our doctors, of course. But yeah. The second reason why we've kind of just decided to not find out is it's something different. Everybody does a gender reveal party these days, or they find out their gender, and that's just something that we never were like too interested in doing in the first place. So it just kind of worked itself out. Don't get me wrong, it's been hard not knowing, but it hasn't really been the end of the world like people kind of assume it is. Yeah. So, and then another reason, I have it all on my phone because pregnancy brain. But another reason that's associated with that is most people seem extra excited about this baby also. Like every time the baby gets mentioned, they're like, oh, I wonder if it's a boy and girl. It starts a whole new conversation. And I think like other people are just as excited to find out as we are. So it's really cool. The third thing is we get less advice from people. When you don't know the gender of your baby, people are less likely to give you random bits of advice regarding specific genders. So I actually don't mind advice for the most part if it's helpful advice or like constructive in any way, but sometimes people are like, oh, well, girls are so easy at first, and then they become little heathens or whatever. And that's not always the case. Like, I feel like I was a good kid growing up, so I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Like, that doesn't help me in my pregnancy right now, so don't tell me that. And people are always, like, you always hear about how boys are a little bit more difficult, but they're more fun. And we don't have a preference, so I don't want to hear that. Not really. And people are less likely to tell us things like that when they don't know what we're having. So, something to think about, I guess. Number 4 is we focus on more important things at OB appointments, especially the ultrasounds. At the ultrasounds, which we've only had a few, we actually don't pay attention obviously to the gender, and so the doctors look at other things and they go into more detail about the other parts of the ultrasound with us, which I honestly appreciate. So during the 20-week during the 20-week appointment, we had my pregnancy brain's all over the place. Yes, during the 20-week appointment, The doctor actually, or the technician actually, like went through everything and like counted the chambers with us, and she made sure that we understood exactly where every body part was and everything. So I appreciated that more than anything. So I don't know if they really focus on that stuff as much when you're like, oh, there's a boy or there's a girl, and you just kind of forget everything else. So I really cared about the medical parts. So yeah, there's that. Old wives' tales have stayed fun for me. Honestly, it's pretty 50-50 for the most part, so I don't really agree with most of it. I feel like I've carried low for most of my pregnancy, which tends to be a boy thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I've kind of had a feeling that it's been a girl the whole time, but they say that your skin gets really bad, and my skin actually stayed well. It's just, you never know. Like, I don't really believe in that stuff. But we will see in 5 weeks. Gender neutral things can be more easily reused again for baby number 2, which will help us save us money later on down the road in a year or 2 when we decide to have another one, if we decide to have another one. And so the goal is to have 2, but yeah, it'll be a lot easier to reuse items because all of our things are already gender neutral. So that's cool. Number 7 is one of my favorites. Is it gives you something to look forward to during labor and delivery. I'm not looking forward to that day to come, but I already have like a silver lining in the back of my head. Is I just want to get to the point where the doctor literally like has the baby and says, congratulations, it's and we find out together. So I'm really, really excited about that moment, and that's kind of what's keeping me going. Like right now, when feet are in my ribs and I can't breathe, that's what keeps me going, is I'm still going to have that moment with Ian, and I'm really, really excited about that. Where am I on my list? Oh, it has given us more time to decide on a name. We feel less pressured to have it already. We kind of have a girl name in mind, but the boy name has been harder. We're still trying to pinpoint a first name. We have a second, like a middle name chosen, but the first name has been extra hard. But yeah, whenever you don't already know what your gender is, when you're not like, oh, well, I'm having a girl in 5 weeks, people are not already expecting you to have a name. But when you tell people that you're waiting to find out and that you're still up in the air about names, they're more understanding because you have to choose on 2 different names. So that's been helpful also, is I have not really felt pressured to have our names chosen, which has helped because I'm already pressuring myself enough as it is. And let's see what else. It annoys some people. Yeah, this just kind of shows like who I am as a person, but I know firsthand how annoying it is for me, and I'm the one carrying the child. I know how annoying it is for some family members. I know how annoying it is for my best friends and my coworkers, because they see me every day and they're like, okay, I hear this almost every single day. It is, how about you tell your doctor to put it in an envelope, give it to me, and I just won't tell you. I'll just buy you stuff on the side. And I'm like, no, like, if I don't get to find out, no one else does. That's the way I see it. So, I don't know. Maybe it makes me a horrible person, but I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious that people don't know with me, because they're so nosy. And I know they're excited, but they're nosy. Yeah. Okay. And the last reason, number 10, is it keeps God in control. And that's been a hard one for me. I am a huge control freak. I like to have everything planned out. Honestly, if I would know the gender right now, then I would have like all the clothes ready to go for like the first couple months. And because we don't know, I've only gotten the essentials. And yeah, I only got like the essentials. I got like what we actually need for a newborn. And honestly, if you have a girl, for example, you do not need 4 onesies that look almost identical, that's pink, that has tutus on it. Like, you don't need that. That's not essential, especially for a newborn born during COVID. That's not going to be allowed outside anyway. So we just kind of stuck to the basics, and that's all we really needed. But it's really neat too, knowing that, like, yeah, our doctors probably know, because I'm sure they've seen stuff during ultrasounds. But for the most part, God's the only one who really knows what the gender of our baby is. And it's really neat that we kind of let him have that. You know, like, it's one of the biggest surprises that women have had the pleasure of having, like, for centuries. So the fact that I can kind of be one of them makes it a little extra exciting. So yeah, for this control freak, it's been pretty cool that God's just staying in control in this one. So those are my 10 reasons. I just randomly thought of another one, which is it kind of goes with like number 9 or whatever I just did. But it's that during our baby shower, we got essential stuff. We didn't get a whole bunch of clothes. We did get a lot of clothes, don't get me wrong, but like, we got like Halloween onesies or Christmas onesies, like stuff that will actually be used. And we did not get stuff that won't get used, really. So that was awesome. We're not going to be wasteful at all. So yeah, so that is my list, my 10 reasons why we decided to wait. I know it's not for everybody. I probably won't do this to myself again for the second baby. But it's been kind of bittersweet for this time around. So yeah, we'll see in 5 weeks. But anyway, if you've stayed this long in the video, I just want to point out that I am more active on Instagram for a more daily life update. Whenever I actually do go into labor and whenever the baby is finally here, Instagram will find out a lot sooner than YouTube will. So here is my shameless plug right up here to follow me on Instagram. It's at BamShank. It's very easy to find. And yeah, I hope to find you guys over there too. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog with a quick baby bump update for 35 weeks. And I will see you guys again on Wednesday, I believe. Bye. Alrighty, 35 weeks. This is actually right before I go to work, so I'm in leggings and a long sleeve shirt. From up front, this is what I look like. I feel like there's really no denying I'm pregnant anymore, but who knows? I know from behind you can't really tell, because as you can see, it mainly comes out like this. I'm not really growing out this way too much. But, so the front looks like this, but when you turn to the side, that's when you see it. Yep, that's the baby bump in 35 weeks. Honestly, for this whole pregnancy, I felt like the baby was more lower, but I definitely feel like it's a little bit higher this time around. But yeah, that's baby.